Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Tasha. I'll be teaching this 45-minute Vinyasa class. Let's start with sit bones spread wide. Comfortable cross-leg position. Rest your palms on your thighs. Close your eyes. Take a moment to observe your breath at the start of your practice. Observe the natural state of your breath, the gentle movement of your breath in your body. Observe any sensations in your body, the position of your body, legs crossed, tall spine. Observe the space above the top of your head, the space between your shoulders and your ears. Take a deep inhale, slowly blink the eyes open, stretch the spine long. Exhale, lower the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Circling the head to the right. Exhale, down to the front. Inhale, open to the back. Exhale, down to the front. Inhale, open to the back. Exhale, down to the front. Inhale, open to the back. Changing direction of the circle. Exhale, down to the front. Circling to the left. Inhale, open to the back. Exhale, down to the front. Inhale, open to the back. Exhale, down to the front. Inhale, open to the back. Inhale, lengthen the spine long. Exhale, rolling over the shins, coming into a tabletop position, finding all fours. Walk the fingertips in to face each other. Fingertips face the knees, palms face the ceiling. Fingertips face the knees, wrists face out. Continuing this wrist warm-up, fingertips face in. Palms face the ceiling. Wrists face out. One more round, fingertips face in. Palms face the ceiling. Wrists face out. And tucking the toes under, pressing the weight back, lengthening the heels down towards the mat. Finding a gentle crouch. Release the back of the neck, lengthening the back side of the body. Soft fronts of the hips. Four, 5. Inhale, lower the knees down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Exhale, coming into a tabletop position. Inhale, roll shoulders back. Bring the chest forward, gaze forward, arch the back. Exhale, press away, curl navel to spine, spine to ceiling. Inhale, arch, gaze forward. Exhale, press away, curl. Inhale, arch, shoulders back. Exhale, press away, curl. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Tucking the toes under, preparing to warm up downward facing dog. Inhale, arch, gaze forward. Exhale, press the weight back, lengthening the heels down towards the mat. Finding downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the knees, arch the back, gaze forward. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the knees, arch, gaze forward. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. And walking the heels out, lengthening one heel and then the other. Making any movements that you need to make in the downward dog. And lengthening both heels down towards the mat, lengthening the backs of the legs. 5 breaths in the downward dog, pressing the weight back from the hands, pressing the weight into the feet, finding the longest place for the spine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving into a spinal mobilization. Inhale, ripple through the whole spine, rolling forward into a high plank. Lower the pelvis, lift the head, upward facing dog. Exhale, dive the head under, ripple back, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank, lower the pelvis, lift the head, upward facing dog. Exhale, top of the head, dives down, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank to up dog. Exhale, tuck the head, ripple back, downward facing dog. And walking the feet to the hands, walking the hands back to the feet. Taking a gentle bend of the knees and taking hold of opposite elbows, hanging over the legs. Gently swaying side to side, shaking the head yes and no. Releasing the back. And opening feet mat width apart, toes turned out. Taking hold of the inner arches of the feet with the hands, preparing for Malasana, wide leg squat. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, lower the pelvis between the heels, lift the chest, lift the gaze, Malasana. Exhale, press the mat away, stretch the legs, forward fold. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, lower pelvis, lift the gaze, Malasana. Exhale, press away, forward fold. Inhale, Malasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Malasana. And taking 5 breaths in Malasana, maybe joining the palms at heart center, using the elbows to press the knees to the sides. Awareness to the length of the spine, open chest. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, palms to the mat. Stretch the legs. Turn the toes in to face each other. Inhale, half lift. Extend the spine, gaze forward. Lifting out of the fronts of the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Release the back of the neck. Internal rotation of the thighs. Broadening across the sacrum, the back of the pelvis. 2, 3, 4, 5. And bringing feet parallel, hip width apart. Deeply bend the knees. Roll up standing, vertebra by vertebra. Head last. Stretching the legs, finding vertical. And stepping to the front of the mat, preparing for Surya Namaskara, sun salutations. Big toes together, shoulders at your sides, open chest. Inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze up. Exhale, long spine, forward fold. Release back the neck. Inhale, half lift, gazing forward. Extend the spine. Exhale, step or jump back to high plank, lower chaturanga, hovering off the mat. Inhale, shifting forward, upward facing dog. Engage the thighs, press the mat away. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, bend knees, gaze forward, step or jump forward. Inhale, half lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, Samastitihi, standing pose. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, lower chaturanga. Elbows hug the rib cage. Inhale, shift forward, upward facing dog, connecting navel to spine. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, bend knees, gaze forward, step or jump forward. Inhale, half lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, bend knees, gaze forward. Step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, bend knees, gaze forward. Step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, Samastitihi, standing pose. Lift all 10 toes up off the mat and place them back down, spreading them wide apart. Observe the breath. Observe the length of the spine. Inhale, deeply bend the knees, sit the hips back, lift the chest high, Utkatasana, chair pose. Roll the pinky fingers together, shoulders away from the ears, lifting the gaze. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, stretch the legs, standing tall. Opening the feet hip width apart, parallel. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold, preparing for Padangusthasana, taking hold of the shins or taking hold of the big toes with 3-finger grip. Inhale, half lift, extend the spine, finding extra length. Exhale, forward fold, pulling front body towards the thighs, keeping the hips high. Gaze to the nose tip. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, half lift, gazing forward. Repeating the same posture once more or walking the hands under the feet for Padahastasana. Exhale, forward fold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, half lift, gazing forward. Exhale, step or jump back to high plank, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, spiral the left toes out. Windmill the arms up, warrior 2. Pointing right knee directly over toes, pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Lifting the inner thighs, reaching the fingertips to the sides, gazing over right shoulder. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, stretch the right leg long. Inhale, reach the arms wide. Exhale, tilting forward over the right leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Taking the right hand to the right shin. Gaze to left thumb. Stacking shoulders over hips. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse. Sweep the right arm long, extend the right side body. Exhale, bend the right knee, taking the right elbow to the right thigh or right fingertips in front of right foot. Inhale, sweep left arm long overhead, Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. Turning both shoulders and both hips to the side wall, pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Strong left thigh. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reverse, sweep the right arm long, extend right side body. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step the right foot back to meet the left, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step left foot forward, spiral the right toes out. Windmill the arms up, warrior 2. Left knee bending over toes, pointing directly over toes. Pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. Pulling up the inner thighs, pressing into the mat, reaching fingertips to the sides. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, stretch left leg long. Inhale, reach the arms wide. Exhale, tilting forward over the left leg, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand presses away from left shin, gazing to right thumb. Connection of the tailbone to the mat. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse, sweep left arm long, extend left side. Exhale, bend to the left knee, taking the left elbow to the left thigh or left fingertips in front of left foot. Inhale, sweep right arm long, Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. Pressing into the outer edge of the right foot, strong right thigh. Rotating both shoulders to the side wall. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, reverse, sweep left arm long. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step left foot back to meet the right, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step right foot forward, keeping the left toes tucked under, left hip square. Inhale, sweep both arms up, crescent lunge. Reaching the fingertips to the ceiling, squaring the hips, pulling the right hip back, pressing left hip forward. Strong left thigh, arms extend the spine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, twisting left elbow to right knee. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, gazing over right shoulder. Steady gaze. Modification to lower the left knee to the mat. Inner thighs pulling energetically together for stability. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back to center, lift the chest. Exhale, palms to the mat, step the right foot back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step left foot forward, keeping the right toes tucked under, right hip square. Sweep the arms long, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. High crescent lunge, keeping the right toes tucked under, stretching the right thigh, pressing right hip forward, pulling left hip back, reaching fingertips to the ceiling. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring palms to heart center. Exhale, twisting, right elbow to left knee. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, gazing over left shoulder. Squeezing inner thighs together for stability. Modification to lower the right knee to the mat. Steady gaze. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back to center, lift the chest. Exhale, stretch left leg long. Turn to face the long side of the mat. Turn the big toes in to face each other. Interlock the fingers behind the back. Inhale, roll shoulders open, lift the chest. Exhale, Prasarita D, taking the hands back behind the head. Letting gravity open the shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release the interlocking of the fingers. Inhale, half lift, gaze forward. Exhale, turn to face the left foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Step the left foot slightly outside as if you're standing on train tracks. Point the left toes out at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, lift the chest. Stretch the arms, warrior one. Squaring the hips, right hip back, left hip forward. Arms extend the spine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, sweep the arms long by the sides, shifting the weight forward over the right foot. When you're ready, stretch the right leg, lifting left leg into the air. Warrior 3. Left toes pointing down to the mat, heel facing the ceiling. Pressing the left foot back in space as if standing on the wall behind you. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lower the left foot, stretch the arms, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat, step right foot back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step left foot forward, step the right foot slightly outside. Right toes pointing out at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one. Squaring the hips, pressing right hip forward, pulling left hip back. Left knee deeply bent. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, reach the arms long by the sides, shifting the weight forward over the left foot. When you're ready, stretch the left leg, lifting right leg into the air, warrior 3. Squaring the hip, pointing right toes down to the mat. Heel to the ceiling, thigh engaged. Lifting the back of the right knee to the ceiling. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lower the right foot, sweep the arms up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat, step left foot back, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, bend knees, gaze forward, preparing to jump through. Cross the legs, sitting the pelvis down onto the mat, stretching the legs long in front of you. Spread the sit bones wide, big toes together, thighs extended. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana, taking hold of the shins, the big toes with 3-finger grip, or wrapping around the outer edges of the feet with the hands. Inhale, half lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, pulling front body towards the thighs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reach the arms long. Exhale, take the hands beside the hips, pointing the toes down to the mat. Press down, inhale, lift the pelvis. Purdhavottanasana, inverting the spine, facing the ceiling. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, lower down. Joining the soles of the feet together, heels close to the groin. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, begin to walk the fingertips forward, folding forward over the feet with a long spine. When you reach the full extension of your fingertips forward, taking hold of the inner arches of the feet with the hands, using the elbows to press the knees to the sides, chest and chin to the mat. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, cross the legs, rolling forward over the shins, coming into a tabletop position. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk the fingertips forward, lowering the chest to the mat. Utthita Prishthasana, lizard pose. Opening thoracic spine and heart center. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, shifting forward. Come to lying down on your front. Forehead on the mat, big toes together, palms beneath the shoulders. Preparing for Bhujangasana. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the chest. Minimal weight in the palms of the hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, turn the head to gaze over right shoulder, gazing to right heel. Inhale, come back to center, lift chest. Exhale, turn over left shoulder, gaze to left heel. Inhale, center, lift chest. Exhale, gaze to right heel. Inhale, lift the chest, center. Exhale, gaze to left heel. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower down, resting one cheek on the mat. Close the eyes. Rock the pelvis gently side to side. Inhale, extend the left arm long in front of you and roll over onto your back side, facing the ceiling. Bend the heels to sit bones, knees facing the ceiling, feet parallel, hip width apart. Interlock the fingers behind the back. Press down. Inhale, lift the pelvis, rolling shoulders open. Chest to chin, pelvis high, knees pointing forwards, inner thighs pulling energetically together. 2, 3, 4, 5. Option to roll the back down onto the mat, hugging knees to chest, rocking gently side to side. Option to practice chakrasana, folding fingertips back to the ears. On the first inhale, lifting onto the top of the head. Inhale, lifting onto the top of the head. On the next inhale, pressing into the arms, stretching the arms. Inhale, stretch the arms. Stretch the legs, gaze to the mat, pressing the chest forward, armpits forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. To release the posture, exhale, tuck chin to chest. Lowering down onto the back of the head and rolling the back down onto the mat, vertebra by vertebra. Hug knees to chest, rocking gently side to side. Option to take hold of the inner arches of the feet, letting the knees fall out to the sides in happy baby. Option to practice halasana, plow pose. Inhale, stretch toes to the ceiling. Exhale, roll the toes back behind the head. Maybe supporting the back with the palms to the back. Maybe interlocking the fingers. Stretching the arms to the mat. 7 breaths, gazing to your navel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Take a gentle bend of the knees, taking hold of the calves. Roll the back down onto the mat very slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Release the feet down onto the mat. Stretch the legs long in front of you. Arms long by your sides, finding Shavasana. Eyes softly closed. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Spreading calmness through the body. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Preparing for total body relaxation. Repeat to yourself mentally, my toes, my feet, my ankles, relax. My calves, my shins, my knees, relax. My thighs, my hips, my glutes, relax. My lower back, middle back, upper back, relax. My shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, relax. My hands and my fingers, relax. My neck, relax. My face, relax. My skull, relax. My brain, relax. My mind, relax. And rest in Shavasana, practicing stillness. If any thoughts come to disturb you, just let them go and return to the practice of Shavasana. As you prepare to come out of Shavasana, start by deepening your inhales and exhales, waking up the body, making any small movements that you need to make, wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling the head gently side to side, moving and stretching the body. When you're ready, interlock the fingers behind the head, join the big toes together. Inhale, stretch the whole body. Exhale, roll onto the right side, resting on the right side with the eyes closed. When you're ready, using your hands to bring yourself up to sitting, finding a comfortable seated cross-legged position. Rest your palms on your thighs. Close your eyes. Taking a moment to observe your body, breath, and mind as you end your practice. Rub the palms together. Join the palms at heart center, pressing the warmth of the palms to each other. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bowing chin to chest. Namaste. Thanking yourself for your practice. Place your palms over your eyes, letting the warmth from your hands transfer onto your face. And slowly blink your eyes open. Look at your palms, taking as much time as you need to finish your practice. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I hope that you enjoyed the class. My name is Tasha. I wish you a good rest of your day. I'd be very happy to hear from you in the chat how your practice was, or any questions or comments about what we've been doing. And otherwise, I hope to see you very soon, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.